Hello everybody and welcome to another Winter 2014 S.W.A.T review. My name is Alan, otherwise known as C-Suite.
I'm Kate, otherwise known as Narataki.
And we are from ReverseThieves.com, as well as the Speakeasy podcast. And you can go to ReverseThieves.com and get other blog posts as well as other cool podcasts.
This time we're looking at HappinessCharge PreCure from Toei Animation, and is streaming nowhere because everyone is foolish. I was really hoping this was going to be the first one that was going to get simulcast. Well, I mean, they still could, I guess, but...
I mean, it is the 10th anniversary of PreCure, so I feel like if you're going to bust out anything, it should be the big guns for the 10th.
I really thought, come on, guys, you can do it, but we'll see. Sometimes they pick them up later on, so... HappinessCharge! Wow! The first episode is so energetic. I mean, I think you sort of get that from the title, but PreCure is always pretty upbeat, but this was, really hype to be on television. Everybody was really glad to be there.
And as somebody mentioned, it starts somewhat in media res with already two of the girls running around being precures. Because most of the time it starts off with the birth of the first or the first two precures. With this one, it does have the birth of a new precure, but there are already two cures running around doing their thing.
Yeah, and you also, get a sense of the villains from the beginning, that they're going to be a little bit different than what we've seen. Just because their kingdom is it's almost so colorful and they don't seem evil and ugly and except that they're, as far as the translation is concerned, their evil monsters are called Terrabads, which I'm not sure that's right. But maybe it is. The bad kingdom in this, they're almost like not a fairy tale, although they do have a little bit of that going on, but it's like Candy Kingdom, and I was like, I want these people to take over the world!
Sure, we live under a harsh, depressing reign of evil, but...
the houses are made of cookies!
Desserts are plentiful.
It's a trade-off! Totally know their shtick. But we do know that Cure Princess, who is ostensibly the main character, I guess, in this first episode, who's looking for her best friend, and she's sort of socially awkward, and she's been sort of ousted from her kingdom, and the other precure that we saw, which I don't know who she was yet, she's basically like, this is your fault, the world is being taken over and bad things are happening, it's all your fault. So I like that we sort of have this bit of mystery about what has happened in the past.
I was just going to say two things. I do know that they really made the new cure kind of the focus of the thing. So I think that kind of the two cures are kind of co-leads, especially considering the opening that they seem to do a lot of joint attacks together. Kind of how Erika and Tsubomi were very much kind of dual leads of Heart Catch. Although, you could say Tsubomi was a little bit more of the main character, but really, I mean, those two were kind of the front of the series. I feel like these two kind of are the leads, but that's quibbling over comments. And the other thing I was going to mention is I did notice from the opening that the girl who seems to be in charge of the bad guy kingdom seemed to have at one point in the opening a normal girl form. So I wonder if she's actually the actual big bad, or if there's some kind of like how there's usually a darker force.
I would think so. I mean, if it's true to form, that will absolutely happen, and possibly that girl will become a maybe sort of ally in the end, or, it won't be as bad as you think she is closer to the end. But I really loved the energy of the episode. And then Cure Lovely I thought she was hilarious in this episode because the first time we see her, she's basically a big PreCure fan. Oh, that's the thing! That in the world, people know about the PreCure and they're famous, sort of. So, and people want to be them and, follow them and know what they're up to. So I think that's also something new that they're adding to it. But our main lead who becomes, Precure at the end of the episode, spoilers, is like a big fan. And so I loved when she, gets the chance to become one and she's like all excited about it. And then she's like, Cure Lovely. And they're like, how did you know your name was Cure Lovely? She's like, I don't know. I just thought that sounded good.
She was like, I like to use words like loving and love a lot. So I went with Cure Lovely.
And she, of course, she contrasts Cure Princess by their personalities are very different. Cure Lovely is really upbeat, outgoing. She talks to everybody and she wants to help people. And Cure Princess, she wants to be that person, but she isn't. She tries really hard, but she is like shy and, doesn't really know how to interact with people yet. And that's a pretty common thing that they do with especially if there's two like co-leads. Pretty common thing that they do. But one of the things I liked about Cure Princess is that even though she's a Precure already, she like loses in this first episode a lot. And we haven't seen Cure Lovely actually finish. We don't see the end of the battle yet, so we don't really know how that's going to turn out. But I wouldn't mind, again, if they don't really like pull it out of the fire there.
And if nothing else, there is that third Cure running around. So, if they don't pull it out of the fire, she could basically come in and be like, boy, you gained another useless cure, and Cure Princess.
Oh, yeah, and then the toy shtick in here is cards that let you have different fashions, that seem to be. And they're like transparent, so you can stack them on top of each other.
And in the opening, once again, we saw Cure Lovely having like many different magical girl outfits.
It kind of reminded me of the Sailor Moon pin that Usagi gets, where she like can transform into like flight attendant and all kinds of different stuff to disguise herself. So I wonder if it's going to be more of something like that. And then the mascots, they totally remind me of Heartcatch's mascots. Well, yeah, except they have these weird, like, shells? I don't know.
So what? I mean, I have nothing to go on. I thought they were going for, like, ladybugs or something. I mean, they never usually ever outright, other than, like, Hummy being a cat, they don't tend to, like, state what kind of animal they're supposed to be. You're just supposed to figure it out.
Or they're just, like, stuffed cute thing or whatever. It was just weird, these, like, disc things on their backs. But whatever.
Because, once again, a lot of people who worked on this worked on Heartcatch. For some reason, the Heartcatch people always have to have the mascot characters have when they generate an item for, a defeated monster. They always have it weird. At least it isn't the
pooping mechanism of Heartcatch. God, that was always like the worst thing about that show. Anyway, I forgot what it was, though. It was something weird.
Don't they, like, puke them up or something?
Was it puking? What was it? Was it that? It was something really weird.
I remember was it out of their butt, and that's all that matters.
Thank God. But it was still kind of bizarre, whatever it was. Really loved the episode. I thought it started off really strong. It had a good fight at the beginning, and then the transition for the Cures to meet each other and their personalities. I really loved the first episode.
Oh, I did notice one other thing, which was encouraging to me, which was there was some male characters. Cure Princess has a male friend, maybe her brother or something, who definitely looks like a character that's going to be kind of mentoring them or helping them. And the little girl that Cure Lovely knows, she has a brother that definitely looks like a character just from him being in the opening and the way they talk about him being a martial artist is going to be around. And I feel like
the first boy cure? Huh? No, it won't happen. That's okay. It doesn't need to happen.
But I do feel like I hope that they have the Heartcatch thing of the people that they saved staying around and interlocking into later stories. And I feel like if this little girl gets trapped and, becomes a monster, I definitely feel like her brother is going to have an episode later on. And being a lot of the same people, I'm really hoping they keep up that trend of just not having the people turned into monsters every week. just be like one and done and never seen again.
Oh man, you reminded me of the monsters. So the monsters, the Terrorbads, if that is indeed what they're actually called, they transform into like Gurren Lagann glasses wearing like robots, and they also have Proto-Man like scarves flailing in the wind. I don't know why that is, but I really enjoyed it. So please keep that up.
Oh, and like Heartcatch, they had like other monsters that fought alongside the big monsters, who also had sunglasses and capes.
Weren't you the one who said we shouldn't bring up Heartcatch a lot because people shouldn't make the unfair comparison?
I feel like it's going to be brought up, but we should mention it, but I feel like people should judge the show on its own. But see, Kate, my heart is pure enough that I will judge this show for its own merits. But the internet's already going to judge it against Heartcatch. We cannot stop it.
We can't ignore it? Is that what you're saying? Fine. It was really good. I loved it. My only complaint was the ending was creepy. I didn't like it. Not because it was, like, creepy in, like, a pervy way, but, like, they've been slowly amping up their CG in the show, and the ending, I don't know, something about it is really weird. Like, the way the dance, I don't know, it really weirded me out.
I'm really hoping they go back to their old 3D style with this, because they always have a second ending. Hope they go back to that.
All right, see you guys next time.
Bye-bye.